Let me tell you of the days of high adventure.
Hi, I'm Kevin.
And I'm Eric.
And this is 6 Degrees of Schwarzenegger, the podcast where we take a long, hard look back at some of our favorite action movies from the era of Arnold.
Schwarzenegger is the icon of the genre, and we're taking a deep dive into some of these 80s and 90s cult action movies and breaking them all the way down.
Friday night's a great night for football. Martin is Italians ready to do it. Friday night's a great night for football. Sit back and relax and let's get down to it. It's gonna be a hell of a fight. We got a great night of football tonight.
Yes, all the way down to the very bottom, the nitty gritty,
Every single frame of every single scene,
every nook and cranny. Yeah, man.
every gun hidden in Furry Tom.
Well, welcome back. Have we ever had a movie that featured a puppet in a
In a pivotal role like this?
Yeah.
No, I don't think so. Not that I can recall. No.
Absolutely, man. I'm here for it.
I thought it was great.
This is the exciting conclusion of our series on The Last Boy Scout.
That's right, part 5.
Absolutely, man.
Man, we did it. We got
I'm here
there.
for the peak Bruce Willis at the peak of his powers.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, Tony Scott throwing down Shane Black, Joel Silver.
Yeah. It's,
Awesome. Like everyone you want to be attached to your action movie in 1991.
and yet it was almost a disaster.
Yeah, we would definitely touch on that a little bit towards the end. But yeah,
very close to being a complete
I
disaster.
mean, I'm going to chalk that up to cocaine, probably.
Your cocaine is your excuse for everything.
Absolutely. What's wrong? Nothing, Yeah. But no, this is a convoluted plot, which you have the honor of trying to
right.
recap. You don't have to touch every note.
Oh, right. But
yeah, give it a shot, man.
so we got Joe. He's played by Bruce Willis. He's a detective down on his luck. His wife is fucking his best friend. We got Jimmy Dix. He's a down on his luck football player who is addicted to drugs. They get thrown in together because Joe's friend Mike, the wife fucker, he gets blown up in a car.
Wife fucker. Absolutely, that's what he is.
And but before he dies, he gets Joe a case to take care of a stripper named Corey. Just so happens is dating Jimmy. So that's how Jimmy and Joe come together.
You're right.
Corey is very quickly dies after that, and the two get embroiled in this mystery to figure out what is so big that they're willing to kill Mike and Corey over. And it turns out that they have been in the process of giving evidence to reveal a conspiracy of bribery and political corruption to make sports betting specifically legal.
Right, yeah.
Right,
they want to
exactly.
legalize the shit.
Right, exactly. So Joe
He thinks it'll be good for TV ratings.
TV ratings, apparently. Yes,
Yeah.
which maybe it was. I mean,
Who
there's an
knows?
awful lot of TVs at Vegas when you're betting there, so it's not you're not wrong. Anyway, so Joe and Jimmy are investigating all of this. They discover all of this. They have a falling out though, and so they break apart. And then Joe gets kidnapped by the thugs. Jimmy is thrown over an overpass but survives. And then Joe is taken to the main bad guy Marcone's place, where all the truth is revealed, and explain that Joe's going to be framed.
It's that James Bond type scene, right?
Yeah,
where the
it is
bad guy
true.
explains his scheme.
Right, exactly. He starts monologuing, does the whole thing. It's revealed that they're going to blow up Baynard under the guise of giving him a $6 million bribe, and they're going to frame Joe for the whole thing. They take all the handoff goes off in the middle of the woods, which presumably is in Griffith Park. Jimmy shows up. Joe's daughter Darian sneaks in with Furry Tom the puppet. A shootout occurs that involves shooting a bullet through Furry Tom's mouth. They crash into a rich guy's pool. They get the $6 million case, but
what do those
no,
houses cost up there? They're
millions
extremely
and millions
expensive,
of dollars.
right? Yeah, okay.
Insane amount of money. Yeah.
even like a modest home.
Yeah, even a modest. Oh my God, no,
Yeah,
it's
okay.
insanely expensive. So in the upside down car that's in the rich guy's pool, Joe grabs the actual $6 million and like, we got to get to the stadium where the bomb is. They leave, but it turns out the bad guy Milo is still alive. He kills the owner of the house and kidnaps Darian, and now we're off to the races. The final moments.
Man, you crushed that.
Yeah,
bro. That's impressive. I'm impressed. I'm also drunk. But,
yeah, well, so it's easy to press people that way. I love it. I'm happy to be impressive.
So we got Joe and Jimmy. They're driving down the expressway in LA traffic. They're making great time. You were the LA guy, right?
Yeah.
So you were like, you're not speeding down LA highways.
No one speeds down an LA highway. It did make me chuckle. That moment is like, okay, this is definitely a fantasy.
So they actually catch up with the senator's limo. I don't know how you pick one limo out of LA traffic either.
No, I know. That's ridiculous.
So Jimmy is like, I'm going to draw a picture of a bomb on this piece of paper that I conveniently found in this guy's car along with like a magic marker or whatever. And we'll warn him, right? So they pull up alongside the limo and insanely the head bodyguard just starts shooting at them.
This is like the height of LA road rage, maybe?
Like, that's insane. I don't think he's had an opportunity to recognize this is the guy that handed me the case.
Yeah.
Like,
there's no way.
A guy pulled up next to me and he's like trying to get my attention. I'm going to try to kill him. But so Joe swerves away, sideswiping like other cars. And Joe says, if I survive this, I'm going to dance a jig.
The thing that I love too is there's another line where Jimmy draws a horrible bomb on the paper and then writes bomb underneath it, but misspells it BOM instead of BOMB. And then makes fun of him about who's literate now. And so when the guy shoots, Joe says BOM bomb is Polish for fuck you.
Which I actually looked that up on Google Translate. I don't think it's true. No, but it's still
I don't
funny.
think it's true. But it's still a great line. But yeah, Joe says I'm going to dance a jig if I survive this.
Dance a jig. So now the limo swerves off the highway at the next exit, and Joe has missed the exit. So he pulls over and runs across the highway in front of all these cars and starts shooting off the overpass. And he hits the tire of the limousine down below, and the limousine sort of runs off the road and rolls over. And then Joe jumps off the overpass down onto the hillside below, which was like a 40-foot drop.
Easily.
Crazy shit. And it's just become a Die Hard movie at this point, like the music and everything, and the way you mentioned, like the posture of Bruce Willis, like the way he's holding the gun, and everything. It's like, that's just John McClane.
Yep.
So the main bodyguard comes crawling out of the limousine, and he points the pistol at Joe, but Joe kills him. Which, how do you feel about the killing of the senator's bodyguard?
I mean,
like, now you're killing one guy just to save one other guy's life.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess you could claim it was in self-defense, but
They're
also
right. The guy was maybe trying to shoot, but it's also like, I feel like you would just try to take cover and say, there's a bomb in that case. Right? Like, Milo put a bomb in the case. I'm trying to help you.
I don't know.
In fact, I'll just kill you.
I mean, the truth is we got, 15, 20 minutes left in this movie at this point.
We got to get some body count.
We don't have time for negotiation.
Now, as all this is happening, Jimmy pulls up in the BMW and it's like, okay, we got to call the cops. And there ain't no way he got from the highway down to where they are that fast.
Not a chance.
Now, up on the overpass, we see Milo drive by. And he grabs the car phone in the car he's in and makes a phone call to the car phone in the limo. And I'm like, that makes no sense.
No, how did he get the number for the phone in the limo?
How did he even... I think we're supposed to think that he could have seen that they had captured the limo, but he could not see that from the driving.
No way.
It would have made more sense for him to call the car phone in the other car because both those cars were owned by the same guy. So, like, maybe it's programmed into the phone.
That would have made more sense. Yeah, you're right.
Because, it makes no sense. None of this makes sense.
No.
But Joe answers the phone and asks, he's like, it's Milo. It's like, are you calling from the bottom of the pool? Which was kind of funny. Milo's like, no, I'm on my way to the stadium and I've got a friend. And then he puts Darian on the phone with Joe. And Milo tells Joe, you better back off or I'm going to show your daughter what a hot date I am.
Oh, God.
This is gross.
Creepy guy.
So Joe tells Jimmy that Milo has got Darian, and the only thing we can really do is try to get to the stadium first and get Marcone and, like, trade him for my daughter.
Yeah.
So Joe grabs that briefcase with the bomb in it out of the limo and gives it to Jimmy, and Jimmy sticks it in the back seat. And now we've got like a dangerous game of like which case is which shaping up for sure. But so
I'm
Joe,
seeing double. 4 crusties.
4 crusties. So, but Joe finds an arsenal inside the limo, which is very convenient.
Yeah.
But also, I feel like it kind of makes sense because this is like a like a car driven by bodyguards. So maybe they did have weapons in there.
Yeah, maybe.
But there's like these exploding shotgun shells that are called shredders
Shredder rounds.
in there. And it's a very convenient plot device to find. But, it kind of makes sense. Joe says, we're heading to the stadium. Jimmy's like, I'm in. They saddle up. For some reason, they're like, here, take this trench coat. Take this duster and pull it on. And like pull it on jackets. It's crazy. It makes no sense.
No.
So they arrive at the crowded stadium, and I was bothered by the fact that what is like clearly the USC marching band is performing. And also I noticed in the background half the crowd had like umbrellas out, even though it was sunny Los Angeles. And I'm like, this is like, we shot this the same day as we shot the rainy shit earlier.
Yep.
And then did you read the shit I read about like they had all these extras that rioted?
Oh, yeah. I did hear about that.
Where they had the extras out to film the stadium scenes, and I think they told them, okay, you're coming back tomorrow for another day of filming. And then they decided they didn't want the extras back for another day, but no one told the extras. They showed up and they were pissed off, and like they called the riot police
to disperse the crowd.
Fucking crazy,
Unreal.
shit.
Like someone got fired over that one.
I
There's
hope so.
No
That's
question.
nuts. I mean, in the end of the day, just pay all the extras and say, but we don't need you.
Yeah,
Just leave, please.
Just leave. Yeah.
Anyway, they parked the car basically like in the players' lot next to Marcone's car. And Jimmy was like, that's Marcone's car, and keys the shit out of it, which I love.
Yeah.
So Joe and Jimmy, they jog into the stadium, but Jimmy quickly pulls Joe out of sight when they come across like some policemen. He's like, oh, by the way, you're wanted for murder. Now, then off camera, they've beefed up their disguises because all of a sudden they have like hats and sunglasses on also. And a security guard recognizes Jimmy and lets him into the VIP area or whatever with no hassle at all.
Right. I mean, it's just like, oh, hey, Jimmy, come on in.
Oh, Jimmy, come on
You're
in.
clearly in disguises, wearing strangely long overcoats, but yay, come on in, hang out.
Right. And then they walk in the tunnel as the team is coming out of the tunnel, and they see each other. And that one asshole player from earlier in the movie, the one who was trying to like rape
Which
the
we'd
chick,
completely forgotten about.
the one whose nose Jimmy broke,
Yeah.
right? Like he is like, Jimmy, fuck, what are you doing here? And Jimmy grabs him and like puts the shotgun up under his chin and was like, dude's like, you're not supposed to be here and you're kicked off the team. And he's like, I'm going to kick you off the universe or some shit.
Right.
But it does raise the point, which this guy's been banned from football.
Yeah.
So I think he's probably not allowed to like be in the
There
stadium.
should be no way. Yeah.
And there ain't no way he's like being waved through by
Right.
security. Oh, Jimmy, come on in, come meet the owner. Whatever, that you right?
Yeah.
But yeah, Jimmy racks the shotgun, puts it up under the guy's chin, and the guy lets Jimmy go. So then Jimmy and Joe take the elevator up to Marcone's suite, which is this fucking lavish.
Just
The set was insane because it was like 30-foot high
Yeah.
ceilings, huge, like it's bigger than my house. There's a fire like roaring in a fireplace, and it's like,
Yeah.
what the hell's going on here? But once they get inside Marcone's suite, they find Marcone is there. He's got Darian, and like there's several other goons there, and they've already got the drop on Joe and Jimmy. So they disarm them. They took their dusters off, which made the inclusion of the dusters in the jacket just completely pointless.
it was just did nothing. I know.
So Jimmy says, your plan's ruined, basically. When Senator Boehner realizes you tried to kill him, he's never going to he's never going to vote yes on legalizing gambling, right? And Marcone's like, well, he's never going to know about it because Milo's about to kill him in a few minutes.
Yeah.
So Joe's like, well, where is Milo? And Marcone chuckles like, he's in a highly enlightened position.
It was just like, oh, okay, so he's in the lights.
Right?
It's like,
What a fucking moron. I feel like they're like, so he's in the lights? He's like,
yeah.
oh, yeah. He's like, yeah, no, we all knew that
Yeah,
instantly.
we like immediately we know where that is.
I feel like he's like, but that is, I feel like typical asshole billionaires like I'm smarter than you are, so you'll never understand this. No, it's crazy shit. But Jimmy demands to know, well, why'd you kill Corey? I feel like again, we all know the answer to this already.
Yeah.
Marcone is like, yeah, no, she was trying to blackmail me.
Like,
duh,
yeah, I know,
dude.
we know, yeah.
So then Marcone's like, calls her a whore, which gets Jimmy fired up. He's like, she's one of the sweetest little whores I ever tasted. Which is a fucking good bad guy line, but it's like, it's crazy shit.
Yeah.
So Joe tells Jimmy, settle down. With a face like Marcone has, he's got to be paying for it, which is a sick burn, but also it's doubling down on the fact that Corey's a whore,
right?
So Marcone tells him, you better shut up if you care about Darian's safety. And Darian's like, eat shit, you fucking redneck. Great line. That kid was going for it.
Yeah, she was really owning every scene she was in.
So Marcone's like, okay, Jimmy, I'm happy to see you again. You had $1 million arm, but you got hooked on those painkillers. You couldn't take the pain. Marcone then grabs Jimmy by the wrist and shoots him in the hand.
Which is just like, what?
I can't imagine how much that would hurt.
No. I mean, you would just be done. I just like the pain would be so overwhelming.
I mean, you would faint, right?
Yeah.
You'd pass out.
Yeah.
So now Jimmy's rolling around on the ground in pain. Marcone takes Darian and sits her down at his desk. And Joe says, you need to let her go. And Marcone pistol whips Joe, tells his goons, kill Joe and Jimmy. So they all cock their guns, and Joe brings up the case with the $6 million. He's like, Marcone is a little intrigued by it, and Joe tells him it's in the back of a BMW, which I feel like had to be phrased very carefully to keep the confusion about the cases going. But so Marcone actually doesn't believe him, and then Joe's like, well, I also have a tape of you and Baynard talking. And then Marcone's like, oh, yeah, let me guess. You're going to go to the cops if something happens to you. And Joe's like, no. The tape's going to go to the mob. We're going to send it to the mob's well-known mailing address.
Right. The mob holistically.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So Joe asked Marcone, what do you think the mob's going to do to you when they find out you're trying to ruin their illegal gambling?
Which I think,
network.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Marcone, though, he doesn't believe the shit that Joe is trying to sell. He says, if you had that tape, you would have told me earlier. So now Jimmy gets up and basically is like, to Joe, he's like, your bullshit's not working. I'm not going out like this. Says, look, Mr. Marcone, we do have the money. It's not in a car. It's hidden in a locker. So then he's like, I got the key. And Marcone's like, well, give it to me. And he's like, I'll give it to you if you let me go. And Marcone's like, no deal. If you don't give me that key, I'll have you kneecapped. Which, of course, he's never going to let him go. But, why not just play along?
Right.
I felt like, yeah, sure, we'll let you go.
Yeah.
Give me the key. So Jimmy takes something sort of out of his waistband and tosses it into the fireplace. And he's like, looks like no one's going to get the money then. This is one of those new plastic
keys.
Sure.
Yeah, okay, whatever.
And panicked Marcone orders his goons, like, get the key out of the fire. And Jimmy turns to Joe and he's like, the kind that shred. I'm not sure you needed the coded language anymore at this point. It could have been just like, it's a shredder. Get down.
Get down.
So Joe yells for Darian to get down. They all hit the deck as this shredder shell in the fireplace explodes, killing a few goons that were nearby. So now goons are running around on fire and shit.
Chaos everywhere.
Joe grabs the shotgun that loaded with shredders and starts just blowing dudes away. I think they edited a lot of violence out because I think he shot one dude in the leg and I feel like his leg fully exploded.
Oh, God.
They cut it out,
God.
But while all this shit is happening, Marcone sneaks out the back.
Yeah.
So they kill all the random goons that are around. And now Joe and Jimmy and Darian are getting out of there. And Joe is praising Jimmy basically for his quick thinking. Marcone is going straight to his car, but now he stops when he notices that white BMW is parked right next to his. It's got a briefcase in the back seat, which of course is the bomb case.
Right.
But Marcone shoots out the window, grabs the case, gets in his car. No one seems to notice that there's just gunshots ringing out in the crowded parking lot. But the good guys, they come down into like the actual stadium, and Joe is like, "Where's Senator Baynard?" And Jimmy points him out. And then Joe says, Milo must be one of those light towers with the best position to shoot Baynard from, which would, of course, be the most logical place to be, even if you didn't have the clue. But the billionaire like told you where he is. So, So Joe tells Darian, you go find some policeman, whatever. Tell him everything that's happening and you'll be safe. And Joe tells Jimmy, try to get Baynard's attention home to take cover. So Joe starts climbing upstairs into like the nosebleed area of the stadium. A couple of cops jump out and try to arrest him. And he tries to explain, but they're not listening. So then he just beats the shit out of them, which is like, I don't know how this little bit enhanced the plot at all.
But it was still, yeah.
We got to see Joe quickly like dispatch a couple of ineffectual cops.
Maybe it was like supposed to heighten the tension because every delay just means Milo has more opportunity to
it's
prepare.
Been a minute since someone's been punched.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
I don't know. But we do see that Milo is up in the light tower, like putting his sniper rifle together because, that's how sniper rifles are.
Yeah,
you have to assemble them.
Yeah, all sniper rifles you have to assemble.
So Jimmy now has made his way down to field level, and he jumps on to the sideline. And on paper, to me, this is like the worst possible way for Jimmy to help out. Like you're supposed to be getting the Senator's attention, not like going on the field. I don't know. But now the player that he'd been beefing with earlier has seen him, spots him, and tells all these security guys that are like, that's Jimmy fucking Dix. He's got a gun. And that dude needs to get his head in the game. I'm like, why are you like not? You're playing in this game today, right? I don't know.
Like, what is your priorities are way off,
bro. You got a football game to worry about.
How long have you been wandering around the stadium looking for Jimmy?
Where's Jimmy?
Like, leading these cops on this goose chase.
But now Jimmy jumps onto the Stallions horse mascot and goes riding off onto the field.
The horses pay off from early in the
finally,
movie.
We had that brief fact earlier that was for no reason Jimmy mentioned, I ride horses. Right. So Senator Baynard, though, for his part, he's delighted by all this.
Oh, yeah. He thinks it's great.
It's another big shit-eating grin from Chelsea Ross. But as they play, like, the football is happening on the field, and one of the guys, like, just gets blindsided by this horse.
Yeah.
Fucking ouch. And Jimmy's like, tells the dude who recognizes him, he's like, give me the fucking football. And the guy hands it over. So Jimmy goes riding away from all these police officers that are running on the field. He's yelling for Baynard to get down. And I feel like a man riding a horse around on the field during the game would be anyone in the luxury suite is going to be drawn to the window.
What is going on?
This is the opposite of what you're supposed to be doing.
I know.
So we see Milo, he's taking aim with his rifle. We see Joe has found him and he's climbing up on the light tower. Baynard can't hear Jimmy's warning, of course. So Jimmy lobs the football at him and the ball hits Baynard right in the face, like right as Milo is pulling the trigger and the bullet like hits the football or whatever, explodes it. I feel like Milo needed, first of all, Milo needed a silencer on that rifle.
Yeah, that was like super loud.
I feel like it's unlikely he's going to get away with this killing a senator when everyone can hear a gunshot.
Right.
Now, if it had been a silencer, you're like, oh, the senator's dead. No one even knows what the fuck just happened. But anyway, Jimmy's like starts celebrating that he's made the best football throw in the history of mankind. He threw that football with a hand that was just shot through from a moving horse.
from a field up to luxury suites.
He hit dude in the face in a luxury suite. Shit's crazy. Now Baynard's like nose is busted and Milo's all pissed off and starts shooting his gun at Jimmy. It's like, stay focused, Milo.
You need to be focused.
Why are you shooting at Jimmy when the senator's like standing in the window still?
You still have more than one round, presumably.
Yeah, he's like fired off like dozens of shots. Now, but suddenly Joe jumps down on top of Milo and kicks the shit out of him. And Milo starts shooting at Joe. But Joe like throws himself against the safety fence and all of a sudden he's dangling like off the light tower or whatever on this chain link fence. And a big row of lights fell off the tower, presumably landing on the crowd.
I mean, I don't know where else they would go.
People dying,
Yeah.
probably. Now, a police helicopter swoops in and tells Milo to drop the gun, but Milo starts shooting at the police helicopter, hits the little like gunman who falls out of the helicopter. He's dangling on this safety line or whatever. Would a helicopter even be allowed to fly over a
Can't
stadium
imagine
like
they
that?
wouldn't be allowed to do that. No,
I don't know.
That seemed a little extra.
But in all this shooting and chaos, Milo runs out of bullets, and Joe climbs back up onto the catwalk. And Joe grabs Milo's bag with more bullets, whatever, tosses it off. And then Milo's pissed off. He throws the rifle at Joe, but Joe catches it right out of the air. Then Milo produces that little switchblade
Yeah,
again.
we're back.
They get to fighting. So Joe comes running at Milo and whacks him with the rifle and drops into one knee. And then Milo stabs Joe in the leg. But Joe instantly overpowers Milo, pulls the switchblade out of his leg. Like I had said earlier, I feel like just that tiny switchblade is not it's not that useful.
And you just proved it. I mean, the movie just proved it in this instance. Yeah.
Like you could have carried a pistol.
right.
That would be more helpful.
That would, and you would have gotten yourself out of this problem if you had a gun.
Absolutely. No,
Yeah.
I got a tiny little switchblade like a woman might keep in her purse, But Joe like snaps Milo's arm in a gruesome sort of a way. Milo has not been the most effective bad guy
No.
we've ever seen.
I mean, we didn't really see him until almost Act 3 of the movie in the first
He's just
place.
easily dispatched.
Yeah, he was. Yeah.
It wasn't like he's not, I don't know, he's an evil guy, but he's not necessarily very good at what he does.
I mean, I guess Marcone just bought him at like Evil Villains Discount Emporium, and he just, this is what happens when you order your henchmen off of Temu.
that is a meme for Instagram.
I'll have to look that up. To put one together.
But yeah, so then Joe is like, I told you, if you ever touch me again, I'll kill you. And Joe kicks Milo in the gut. So there's some separation between them. The police shooter, there's another shooter on the helicopter. He pumps Milo full of bullets. Milo falls off the light tower. As this police helicopter is passing underneath, Milo falls down into the rotors. Just like, that was one of the most gruesome shits I've ever seen in my life. The way they did it. Presumably blood and chunks of like Milo are just raining down on all the people below.
I hope Milo didn't have any bloodborne illnesses.
Right.
because-
Milo's got hepatitis or AIDS or some shit.
He's got all of them.
He's got everything. So the crowd goes really silent, and Joe starts dancing a jig up on the light tower.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
And this Irish like fiddle music starts swelling. It's fucking great.
And then don't they like, what is he doing? It's like, is he
dancing?
Dancing?
I think he's dancing. Yeah, it's amazing. No one can believe their eyes. The crowd's loving it. Jimmy has somehow reunited with Darian.
Yeah, that part
now?
I don't know how that followed through.
And Jimmy is like, for a dancer, he's one hell of a detective.
Which I thought was
Which
a pretty
is
good
clever,
line.
right?
Yeah.
I don't know how the fuck they found each other again.
I don't either.
But yeah, happy ending. So later on in the parking lot, Joe is asking Darian, what's up with the trouble you've been having in school, which seems that would not be happening.
This
But,
seems
you
like
know.
there's a time and the place for everything.
So
and it's
Senator-
called college.
Senator Baynard pops out and is like, he's the one, this is the guy that's been harassing me. He's probably the mastermind of this whole thing. Arrest him. And Joe asks Baynard, head or gut? And Baynard's confused a little bit, but Joe punches him in the gut and punches him in the head. I'm pretty sure you go to jail for punching a senator.
Assault on a public official, yeah, generally
Oh.
speaking.
No matter how much like they might deserve it, you're going to jail tonight. But this is the ending of every Die Hard movie,
Oh, yeah.
isn't it?
Oh,
It's
yeah,
like
yeah.
The police are everywhere, and it's like the quiet moment with the family
Yeah,
or whatever. So yeah, it's like a mashup of like Deputy Chief Dwayne T. Robinson like popping out and be like,
Yeah.
"Oh, what about all the damage you did to the Nakatomi Tower?" And then you got Holly McClane slugging Dick Thornburg or whatever.
Yeah.
So later still, Sarah has arrived, the wife. Jimmy's getting his hand patched up as Darian's watching on, and Darian goes running off to mom. I feel like Jimmy needs like major surgery
Oh, yeah. No,
on
he
his
needs
hand.
to be in a hospital immediately.
He needs like surgery ASAP
Yeah.
if he ever wants to have a hand that works
Yeah,
again.
yeah,
you know?
exactly.
But for some reason, Jimmy then tells Joe, you're really a bastard. And then Joe's like, and then some.
And then some.
That's the rule of 3. That's
Number
the third time
3.
it's paid off.
Yep.
So Sarah walks over to inspect Joe. She tells him, she's so sorry for what she did. She's begging for forgiveness. She's like, I'll buy a dog. This is a payback to earlier when she was like, I'm lonely. And he was like, get a dog. So Joe forgives her then by reciting all like the curses that she said, you should have said to me, like, fuck you.
Spit in your face if the cops weren't here. Yeah.
It's a nice moment, actually. I saw what a good writer can do.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, we've seen this scene 100 times. Like, give it to us in a fresh way.
Yeah.
Right? So they hug it out. Now the lieutenant comes strolling up and he's like, where's the case you've been telling everybody about? And he's like, it's in the back of the BMW over there. So the lieutenant walks over. He finds nothing in the back seat but broken glass. Jimmy and Joe seem confused while the lieutenant pops the trunk and he's like, here it is. And he goes to open the case with the $6 million.
Yeah.
Which this was the bit that has confused the shit out of me. I mean, it makes sense.
Yeah.
But I feel like in the confusion and the chaos of all this, they should be telling him, like, don't open that case.
Don't open the case.
I don't know what's going on, but don't open. It could be a bomb.
Right.
Right? Like, what? But what case did the lieutenant think he was looking for?
So, yeah, the lieutenant thought he was looking for the bomb.
The money.
So,
no, for the bomb or for the money?
I thought he was looking for I don't know.
It doesn't make sense.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's like, where's the case? And he's like, it's in the back of the BMW. And I guess he must have thought he was looking for the money because he opened it no hesitation.
Right, exactly.
But he should have thought he was looking for the bomb.
Right.
If he's asking him, where's the case you've been talking about, and that's the bomb.
Right. That's the bomb is in the case that you've been talking about.
It's a little confusing, but luckily he pops the case open and there's $6 million there. Right. So Jimmy and Joe start laughing their ass off. They're like, they realize Marcone must have taken the case with the bomb in it. So now we see Marcone arriving back at his house. He's popping that case open and boom.
Those poor Dobermans.
I know. I felt bad for the dogs.
Because they're like standing there on either side of the case. I mean,
they're dead as shit. I guess if nothing, at least it was so quick.
They're not going to feel anything. And that bomb was huge.
It blew the whole house up.
They can see it from the stadium that they're in.
Right. And his house was right up under the Griffith Observatory.
Yeah.
Which I'm like, I can only imagine that it's got to be like one of the most expensive houses in the city.
God, I know.
And they apparently reused that exact explosion effect, like in Last Action Hero.
Yeah.
For the house, for Schwarzenegger's house blowing up, or his ex-wife's house, something like that. Yeah, crazy shit. Now, later still, they're back in Joe's neighborhood, where Joe and Sarah are talking while Jimmy's playing football with Darian. And that's when I got to looking at the locations.
Okay.
And saw this house, because they like had this establishing shot of like a cliff overlooking the ocean.
Yeah.
That's a $10 million house. They had the address, the street address of the house they used. How does Joe, I don't know what it would have been back then. Certainly more than $1 million, like certainly a couple million.
Oh, yeah, without a doubt.
Yeah,
those houses are got to be insanely expensive.
Zillow said even his modest house,
Yeah.
it's got mansions now on either side, but it's still that modern, like mid-century modern sort of little modest house.
Yeah.
But it's a $10 million house still. So good for Joe.
Yeah,
And whatever
I don't
his
know.
Secret Service pension,
That's
maybe
a
you
hell
save
of a
the
pension.
president and you get a little hazard pay.
Maybe. Yeah, maybe.
I don't know. But Darian comes running up and she asks if she can go show Jimmy to her friends. And Joe's like, he's not a puppy. And he's, come on, he's fucking famous, the daughter says. And Joe tells her, don't curse, to which Darian's like protesting. And then the wife, Sarah's like, listen to your father. So I guess all is going to be well, like all is right in the world with the Hallenbeck.
I mean, it's a
household.
It's a Hollywood movie, so
yeah,
we don't worry about consequences of life-altering trauma.
But Joe takes the football away from her and tosses it back to Jimmy. So we cut to presumably like a few minutes later, where Joe and Jimmy are walking off down the sidewalk. Joe is saying, I could actually use a partner. Like, do you want the job? And I feel like they're teeing up the franchise.
Right? Exactly.
I mean, this could have been this is as good of as Lethal Weapon or Die Hard or any other like action movie setup. They They could have had more adventures together or whatever, Joe and
Just
Jimmy.
running the private detective agency.
And Jimmy is like, I don't know anything about being a detective. And Joe's like, it's easy. He's like, but now this be in the 90s. You can't just like walk up to a guy and shoot him. You got to say something smart first, whatever. And it's hilarious bit. That's where he's like, I'll be back. And he's like, nah, you got to be even better than that. He's like, so, like if you hit a guy with a surfboard, you would say, surf's up, pal. Which that line delivery was so perfect. I think it was actually Damon Wayans like trying to sound like a white guy.
Yeah.
Surf's up, pal. He's like, yeah, something like that.
The only thing that drove me crazy about this whole thing is that they walk behind a tree.
Yeah.
Right? And then the
They're
camera
walking
stops.
away from camera. They should be walking towards camera,
And walking away from camera is fine because you're like signaling that we're coming to the end of something as they walk off. But they get off a frame and all we're seeing is just a random suburban neighborhood block.
You're right. We can't actually see them at all.
Right. All we're hearing is 80-yard voices at this point, almost certainly.
And then, Jimmy's like, well, what else do I need to know? And Joe's like, well, that's about it. The water's wet, the sky is blue, and old Satan Claus is out there, and he's just getting stronger. I appreciate the callback. That's a rule of 3 again. He hit it the third time. And then Jimmy was like, well, what do we do about that? And Joe's like, be prepared, son. That's my motto. Be prepared, which I love that line, the little Boy Scout motto.
Yeah.
And cut to black and roll credits, man.
Yeah,
that's the last Boy Scout, dude.
That's the last Boy Scout. We've come to the end.
The movie apparently was like just a mass like clusterfuck.
Yeah.
During production, like due to too many egos on set or whatever. You
Then
were
the
saying,
the AD,
the assistant director was like,
what do you expect to have happen when you put 4 alpha males
too
in a
many
room
alpha
together?
dudes like on set or whatever. But this was the last collaboration between Bruce Willis and Joel Silver, who they had done Die Hard movies together, and he had done Hudson Hawk or whatever as well. Joel Silver apparently had just been like cut loose by Fox, because he had multiple movies in a row just run way over budget.
Wildly over budget.
Yeah, it was like Die Hard 2 and Hudson Hawk, I think, had been like train wrecks of productions or whatever. You also had Tony Scott, who had the reputation, I think, of being a diva, but he really didn't like Joel Silver. And I think, like, Joel Silver, I feel like had sort of just bought into his own hype.
Yeah.
Was like, well, I'm a genius movie producer. I should do everything. Like, I think he was trying to micromanage the
He was apparently on set every day.
Rewriting the script and, like, trying to direct the actors.
Yeah.
Like, crazy shit that no producer should be doing.
No, under no circumstances.
Also, like, apparently Bruce Willis and Joel Silver like kept rewriting the script, and it was like moving further and further away from what Shane Black wanted.
Apparently they did a massive rewrite on the third act of the flick too,
which is totally different because we talked earlier about Milo had this thing where he was like doing snuff films on the side as a hobby or something, and the whole thing, like, the wife had been kidnapped and
was
they were
like,
gonna cut her up with a chainsaw. And all this crazy shit that is nowhere to be found.
No.
When I hear that, I feel like what we actually saw makes more sense.
Yeah.
And the other shit, the snuff film subplot seems so outlandish.
We didn't need anything from Milo like that. I mean, like, it was just, especially for a character who doesn't really even show up until the third act of the movie.
Yeah.
It doesn't need to be in the movie any sooner.
Apparently
than that.
him and Marcone were like had way more to do.
Oh, really?
In his version. But it's like, but no one wants to watch a 3-hour-long action movie.
No.
We don't need all this. I think the edits to me seem like they were probably in actually the best interest of the film.
Yeah, I agree.
But I think it also pissed Shane Black off.
Yeah.
And it pissed off Tony Scott as well.
Yeah.
Who was like, I was telling you before, right after this movie, Tony Scott went and he did True Romance.
Yeah.
And in the movie, there was this asshole film producer who was like a fucking coked out piece of shit. And apparently it was like, that was Tony Scott was like, this is exactly based on Joel Silver, like down to like his look and everything.
Oh, that's
which is
so
fucking
funny.
nuts
That's
to me.
amazing.
But yeah, Tony Scott and Shane Black, they were unhappy with the finished movie. So Warner Brothers took the movie to like test audiences, and they thought it went poorly. And Warner Brothers, apparently they brought in Stuart Baird, as we mentioned, to like completely re-edit the movie.
Yeah.
Probably to cut it way down. I think they had to, like we said, it was NC-17, so they had to cut a lot of violence out.
Yeah.
When we say all this, It sounds like every movie that we talk about that's gone horribly wrong. But I feel like this one came out still a decent movie.
Yeah, exactly. It's still like, a fun, watchable movie.
Like, I would recommend this one to anybody.
Yeah.
If you like Die Hard, if you like Lethal Weapon, you'll like this movie.
Yeah. If you like 90s action movies.
It's not as good as those, but it's close.
Yeah.
The movie was a moderate success. It cost $43 million to make. It made $60 million domestically. I couldn't find the overseas numbers, but it probably made money overseas as well.
Yeah.
The year was 1991, which was crazy. So I got to looking up other 91 flicks. The biggest grossing movie of the year was Beauty and the Beast.
Okay.
But number 2 was Terminator 2.
Oh, wow.
And it's crazy to think that Terminator 2 and this movie came out the same year. Because Terminator 2 was so polished.
Right.
And the special effects were groundbreaking.
So clean. Yeah.
And this one was like, it's just your basic cop, like shoot 'em up movie.
Yeah.
Nothing special about it. The effects never looked great. It was just
the explosions were good.
It was a gritty, violent flick.
Yeah.
Other movies from that year were Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves.
Oh,
I loved that movie.
I loved it when I was a kid. Have you watched it recently?
I did. Well, why is Robin Hood American?
I don't know. It was at the peak of Costner's powers too.
Oh yeah, Costner I think was full of himself as well.
So full of himself. Yeah.
This must have been the year that I was like coming to watch movies because I remember Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves being one of the first like adult movies I ever went to go see in the theater, and I loved it. I still love it, but I recognize that it is not great. But there's bits of it that are great. It's got like some great action, whatever. But other movies that year were Silence of the Lambs was a huge grossing movie.
Yeah, big movies in '91.
City Slickers came out that year, made a ton of money, and Hook came out. Spielberg, ton of money. For us action movie aficionados, other movies that were out that year were Bruce Willis had Hudson Hawk out the same year.
Yeah.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2, Secret of the Ooze.
Love that movie.
Was out. Hell yes.
Love that movie.
Backdraft came out that year, which I unapologetically, I think Backdraft is a fucking great movie.
I love that movie. Yeah.
Van Damme had a couple flicks out, Double Impact and Lionheart.
Double Impact, that's one where he plays his own cousin. There's 2 of them.
We want 2 Van Dammes in one movie. Excellent.
Yeah.
2 guys who can't act. No. Point Break was out that year as well.
That's right. 91 was a Point Break year.
Seagal put out For Justice.
Okay.
And as you mentioned earlier, Stallone put out Oscar.
Oh, that was 91.
That was 91.
Oh, that's amazing.
I never have really watched that movie. I know it's one of his like comedic turns.
Yeah. Complete Bomb is my understanding.
Yeah, I think it flopped. You said you dug it though.
I love it. Yeah.
Okay.
It's for me, it's not even a guilty pleasure. It is a great throwback to old screwball
Who else
comedies.
is in it? Joe Piscopo, or am I making that up?
Oh man,
or was that Married to the Mob?
That's Married to the Mob.
Okay, I'm making that shit up.
Yeah. No, I don't really recall him.
One of my favorite stories ever while you're Googling is, this is a different flick, but Stop or My Mom Will Shoot, which was, the story goes that Schwarzenegger, they pitched it to Schwarzenegger and he's like, God, this fucking sucks. But he's like, you know what? He told his agent to tell Stallone's agent that Schwarzenegger was really serious about doing it, just to see if he could trick Stallone into doing it, and he did, and he's like, what a jackass. But tell me more about Oscar.
So, I mean, it is just a who's who of every Italian actor of the era.
Right? Who do we got?
Peter Reigart, Chaz Palminteri was in it.
Yeah. Okay.
Joey Travolta. I think John Travolta's.
John Travolta had a brother?
No, I think it's his dad.
He had a dad?
Yeah. No, he was a producer, occasionally acting.
Joey Travolta.
Paul Greco was in it.
I know the name.
He's like a small time actor. He was in a lot of cop dramas.
There are
and
no
things of that
small
nature.
actors, only small parts.
I think
or no small parts, only small actors. I don't know how that's phrased.
Yeah. Oh yeah. He was in The Warriors.
Okay.
Crocodile Dundee, a few other things. Nothing major roles. Sly Stallone, without a doubt, was the biggest. I think the biggest win on it though was a very young, very very beautiful Marissa Tomei.
Oh
yeah.
Was this like My Cousin Vinny era?
It predates My Cousin Vinny.
Yeah. Marissa Tomei is a beautiful, beautiful lady.
Yeah. And there's just like every Don Amici is in it.
Nice.
There's I mean, basically, there's so many So many Italian actors in this movie. But
maybe if it pops up on Netflix or Max or whatever, I will check it out.
It is. I think it was highly underrated, and it is a great throwback to classic screwball comedies of the 40s and 50s. I mean, it's a total farce.
I feel like the reason why those movies flop is because it's just so outside of what people expect from a Stallone movie.
I think that has a lot to do with it.
That
as
it's
well.
like Stallone fans. This isn't the type of movie they want to watch.
Yeah.
And people who want to watch this type of movie don't like Stallone movies.
Right.
Exactly. So it's like, what are you trying to do here?
And it's a shame too that sometimes your own celebrity can like hinder your own movie, because if I think if it was someone other than Stallone,
of course,
and it wasn't billed as a Stallone movie, it would have had a completely different feel.
Yeah.
Right? But that being said, I thought Sly was great in the movie.
Okay.
I thought he was. I mean, again, he wasn't. He was sort of playing the straight man who is trying to deal with these insane circumstances.
Okay.
He wasn't himself.
Was he like
trying
the head
to be
of
funny.
a crime family?
He was
or
the head of a
something?
crime family. Yeah,
Okay.
exactly. And then like Marissa Tomei, I believe, played his daughter. And there's like all this nonsense involving like trying to launder cash, and then there's like cops who show up, and it's just there's like 12 different plot lines going on simultaneously, and there's all these like narrow misses of people literally walking into a room as someone else is walking out of a room, and it's all by design, right? Like it's all very intentionally and orchestrated.
Yeah, of course. It's like a screwball comedy.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And then everything comes together in the end, and Sly Stallone comes out on top, and it's sort of like, I'm not really sure how I did this, but okay. Like he gets everything that he wanted, and he was like, he's sort of just been a passive sort of observer to a lot of it. So, but yeah, I really like that movie. That's completely off topic.
Oh no,
though.
I feel like for our listeners, that was our bonus episode on Oscar, because I don't think we're ever going to probably
I don't know
do
that we're going to.
whole...
Oscar's way outside of the milieu.
We can't go that deep on Oscar.
No. It's too far out for us.
I'm already dreading the day we have to talk about Junior.
Oh, we'll get there.
Which I've still never actually watched.
Oh, you've never seen
Never
Junior?
seen it, but I do have it. It came in a box set of like Schwarzenegger comedies.
Junior is an interesting film.
Well, you know, they thought they could recapture that twins magic, and I think it didn't go that way.
Happen.
Who played the love interest? Who was the woman?
It was someone
famous, right?
Yeah, she is famous, and I don't remember her name.
Was it Emma Thompson?
It was. Yeah, that sounds right. It was, in fact, Emma Thompson. You called it.
I nailed it. I'm good with the movie
trivia,
trivia, even movies I've never seen.
Yeah, you nailed it.
Yeah, but we'll get there. We'll get there, listeners.
One day we'll do Junior.
Hours of Junior content is coming your way at some point.
Oh God, we're loathing the day here as well.
I know,
but it has to be done. It has to be done.
But as always, we thank you for sticking with us to the bitter end. I like this movie.
I do too. I actually
really
enjoyed it.
This is definitely a recommend.
Yeah.
If you hadn't ever seen Last Boy Scout, you need to check that out.
Yeah, I agree.
Do yourself a favor.
I agree. I think it's worth watching, not just as an artifact of the 90s, but as sort of like a piece of work from a lot of just like the people at the top of their game of that era. And
it's like this and Last Action Hero was similar, because Last Action Hero was John McTiernan and Shane Black and Schwarzenegger and all the heavy hitters together in one movie.
Tywin
and it's like,
Lannister.
What happened here?
Yeah.
That one, but this one was a good one.
This one was a good one.
Last Action Hero didn't go the way they expected it to go, but it was still.
It's become a cult
now.
classic.
Yeah, you watch it now and you're like, oh no, this was good.
Yeah,
this should have been big.
It should have been big. I agree. But no, it's fun to watch, even if you're not looking at it through the lens of sort of its historical context.
Yeah.
It's a fun kind of potboiler neo-noir thriller.
A grown-up, R-rated, violent story.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah,
that's
absolutely.
what I'm here for anyway.
Absolutely. I know. Hey, that's what this whole podcast is about, largely.
Well, thanks for joining me.
Yeah, and me. I'm here too, damn it.
Yeah, we're both here. What the fuck? What just happened? Who? No.
How did you get in here?
As always, though, thanks for listening. We're going to be back real soon with, I think, our election special series. Yeah.
Very
teaser.
interesting.
Think about action movies where there's an election playing out in the background. That could be your clue.
It's A Few Good Men. I know, I'm sorry.
I don't
Not A Few
think
Good
I had
Men.
it. It's
All the President's Men is what I was thinking of.
absolutely, yes. We're going deep. We're going deep. It's it's Mr. Smith Goes to Washington.
Yeah, definitely. That's the one. Yeah.
No, but guys, as always, thanks for listening.
Thanks for
Tell
listening.
your friends. If you like what you're hearing, we want to blow this podcast up.
Always.
So yeah. I'm out of words.
No, we'll see you soon. We'll be back.